Hey y'all, Wilson 3D Prints, Matt here. So I printed the comb for the resin printer. As you'll see here, this vat, sometimes some of the problems with the printer here, it tends to build up and get some gunk in there. I did a PLA print. Well, as you can see here, this print right here has deformed and has not performed exceptionally well. So the LD-002H, excuse me, here I have printed the comb and resin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through my UW01 wash and cure station. I have it set up for the wash, and I'll do this for probably about 5 minutes, and then I will do the cure as well. So we'll kind of break this up in a couple videos, and we'll see how it works out. For my inland regular resins, this is what I like to use. The settings here: 0.03 millimeter layer height, a 6 bottom layer, 1.3 exposure time, 8-second bottom exposure. It seems to work best. This is in a 2 box. With a 7.5 lifting distance, bottom lift speed of 100, lifting speed of 100, and a retract speed of 150. Hey, so here I am again. I'm about to take off the print and put it into the wash and cure station. Always safety first. I'm just touching this. I'm not really worried about the respirator or the goggles, anything at this point in time, because I'm going to put the cover on the UW01 wash cure station. Watch and see what happens. So one thing I particularly like about this UW01 wash and cure station is that depending on the build size, you can see here that I have the build plate actually in here, so I can actually wash the build plate and the print without actually having to do anything extra. So here you have the wash, the cure, the quick, the normal, the slow, which is just the settings, the time, which is 2, 5, 10, and from there it's in 5-minute increments, and you have the pause and start button, on and off button. Fairly simple. I've come to really like this machine. It's done a lot better than the pickle jar and some of the other things I've used in the past. As you can see here, I kind of have what I printed as the Resin Oscillator with IPA. I like this quite a bit better. Most prints I run on about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. This one's relatively small, so I'm going to run for 5 minutes and see what happens. So as you can see, about every minute it changes direction. So it kind of goes right, left, and it does a good decent wash of the print, which is not bad at all. The safety features shown by a couple different other people on YouTube is if you end up taking this cover off, it will stop. And let me see if I can do this here. As you see, it kind of stopped at 328. I put the cover back on. Sorry for the concrete wall, that's about all I got. Hit play again and it'll start back up, and it will continue washing the print. And I will get back to you as soon as it is done washing. So in addition, DW01 from Creality comes with this little station that comes in handy. I did a Wonder Woman that actually wouldn't fit from the bottom to the top, or the top to the bottom. It actually touched the fan, so I ended up using it, the basket to put it in to let it kind of wash, which it did a outstanding job. And then whenever you get ready to cure it, I'll show here in a minute, once we are done washing, you have this mirror plate that it does an outstanding job at curing the print. depending on your size, depending on things like that, like most things. You over cure, it'll kind of offset the colors a little bit, especially with your whites and some of your things like that. So you just kind of have to play with it, mess with it, and kind of see where it goes. So we are done with the 5-minute wash. Simply just take off this here. Again, like I said, I really like the fact that it comes with this piece here. Kind of take this off, let this kind of drain out a little bit. What I have here are some lunch trays I ordered at Amazon, which I'll put in the link below. Not affiliated with them at all, not selling anything like that. And it just uses the same. So this is a separate one. Excuse me, this is a separate one. This one is the one from the actual LD-002H. Simply unscrew it. I kind of put it back over here, kind of let it do its thing. This I keep with the curing station because that's what it came with. I prefer to use kind of a knife like this when it comes to taking the print off of the plate, the build plate here. Let's see if I can do this here. So kind of just up underneath. Be careful. Me and sharp knives don't exactly have the best relationship. I have cut myself a couple times, some of the times to the point where I've required to go to the emergency room to get stitches. So you just kind of want to be careful. And if you look at these kind of side by side, this here is the PLA. This here is the resin print here. Very similar, but once we end up curing the resin printer, I'm sorry I dropped my phone. Once we end up curing this, it'll be a much more feasible option for this, just because the warpage and everything from the PLA. When I go to scoop out kind of any of the extra material from the vat, it doesn't really seem to do as well of a job as I think the resin one will in the long run. Once it's cured, once it's hard, it's going to be a lot more pliable. It'll be susceptible to different things than the PLA is. And this is inland PLA plus true red. But as you can see, it's kind of taking a little bit of a beating. And I've only used this about 5 or 6 times. And it's already kind of started to warp here. So let's go ahead and get the curing process started. In order to start the curing process, you simply take this off, kind of seal it back up, make sure it's sealed up nice and tight. I kind of stick it under these IKEA tables here, which I know a lot of people have used for their FDM printers, especially the Ender 3. Take this glass plate, which you'll see is some little notches in here. So little notches in here, you kind of line them up. Fits in there rather nicely, right? And again, like I said, the wash and cure does this build plate just fine. There's no need to, once I take that print off, everything's kind of washed off. There's no need to really go over anything except kind of set this over here and back in front of the printer, let it dry. That's all I've ever done. That's all I really continue to do. Let this print kind of dry out a little bit from the alcohol. There are some ways to kind of speed up the process. One of those is using a one of these little bad boys, which is a air duster, pretty much used to clean up your keyboards, your computers, things like that. And it's not charged, so we won't have that. So we'll kind of wait a little bit, let this dry out, and then we'll cure it. And again, just like before, we'll end up changing the settings to cure, quick, normal, slow. I prefer normal. It's not too fast, it's not too slow. we'll kind of go through some of those. You can change them as you go along, and I'll probably end up doing about a 10-minute cure on it. So we'll start with the quick, the normal, the slow. We'll end up back on normal. Adjusting the time, it's like I said, 5, 10, and once you get to 10, it goes in 5-minute increments. The only downfall to this is you have to go all the way up to go all the way back down to where you want to go. And we're going to do a 10-minute cure on this. So I'll go ahead and preset it, and then once this part has dried out some, let that alcohol kind of dry off. As you can see, there's still some kind of wet alcohol on here. We will go ahead and cure this part. So as I stated before, we'll do a 10-minute cure on this. I kind of put this in here upside down. The most important part for me is that bottom piece right here to make sure it's cured. You have this mirror plate to kind of reflect up. Again, same thing, cure, quick, normal, slow. We're going to do a 10-minute cure, and we're going to go ahead and start it. Simply a touch screen. It looks like there's buttons, but it's more so just a little bit of slight pressure. Push it, works just fine. Here's the quick setting. As you can see, it's rather quick. Normal, you can actually adjust as you do this. Slows down a little bit. Not sure exactly how much, but it does slow the process down. And if we come down here to the speed again, we can do slow. And as you can see here, it slows it down quite dramatically from quick to slow. Again, depending on what I'm doing, depending on the things I'm trying to cure, depends on the different settings. I really prefer normal and slow. I haven't really used quick for much at all. I've had this for about a month. Normal and slow seem to work best for me. 10 minutes seems to be like the max so far for the things I've done. And switch it back to normal here. So as you see, you gotta let it wait to get back to the quick speed, and then that beep 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 pretty much tells you, hey, there's an error, you can't do it. So we'll go back to normal. We are at 8:22, 21:20, and I will come back to you when we are at about 30 seconds out, and we'll show you the final product. Additionally, as you can see here, the safety feature works for the curing process as well. So let's say that I want to kind of flip this part over. I lift up the box, you hear the double beeps, and I can merely just kind of flip this part over and put the lid back on and hit play pause. And as you'll see here, it'll start back over on normal the last time it left off on, and we're going to continue the process again. Like I said, we'll come back to about 30 seconds, probably a little bit less than that, and then show you the final product. One product I really have come to enjoy is the Elegu Air Filters here. They really help keep some of that smell and some of that, odors out. It comes with a set of 2. It comes with a charger, as you can see here, which I'm using to charge up my air duster that was dead earlier. But this works just perfect. I also have added an air filter, which I will add the Thingiverse link to below as well, with the carbon filter tray here. If I can get it out, let me just lift the whole thing off here. Kind of adds that extra layer of filtration to kind of make sure that it gets some of that extra stuff out. As you see here, I've got the charcoal filters. I'll link that below as well. I believe I bought this off Amazon. It's double layered. They're rather thin, so I kind of double layered it. But I printed this off of Thingiverse, and came out really well. Fits really nice, and it really helps with that filtration of the smell, the odors, the things like that. We're at 135 on the curing. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so finished the 10-minute cure. As you can see, this is the final print here. Let me kind of turn on the flash so you can kind of see some of the detail in this. You've got the M-Tech resin cone, nice and firm, not tacky at all. I'm sorry, I bite my fingernails. Came out rather nice. Ended up doing some other cleanup on this just to kind of see how it works in the long run, because like I said, this was originally printed in PLA plus, the inland red, and as you can see, it's really kind of warped over time. That's cleaning out the vat and then washing out in the IPA to make sure that it is clean, so that way when I touch it again, it's not covered in uncured resin and things like that. So I'll be doing a follow-on update to this to see if the resin print was a much better idea than the PLA. If not, I've got some PETG or some ABS that we could possibly try this in. But for now, it looks like this is going to be a much better option than the PLA. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.